Really, the idea came from the fact that we were looking at the community 100 years ago. The First World War was raging, and all the project was centred around food scarcity, the idea of foraging, and the fact that particularly the bit of Sandwell we're talking about here, Bearwood, was on the interface between the industrial and the rural, and therefore there's a lot of potential there for foraging. It was also about community, it was about people, and it was about the way people must have thought 100 years ago. Here we've got a forager who's actually educating people about their environment so that they can go down along Thimblemill Brook and they can find food for free safely. So they had children at the local school and they came to listen to the local choir. They knew the local musician and they wanted to support the musician, and they were supporting the event. Some people just wanted to come along because they wanted to learn about foraging, and they went off with the professional foragers we had, and they went along the brook. Lots of people had lots of different reasons for coming. Some of the food that was collected was foraged. We had 4 different types of soup to represent the diversity of the community that we have in Sandwell. So we had an Asian dal, we had a Mediterranean soup which was laced with citrus fruits, we had a leek and potato soup from the area, and we also had borscht. It has many other names, but an Eastern European beetroot-based soup. And one of the things we had was a giant tasting session on the day so that people could see the difference. A diagrammatic tree was formed where people could express their opinion on their favourite tastes and textures.
What is it again?
So as you go away today and you walk along the brook and you hear the whoosh, 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 remember that it might not just be the wind blowing from the trees, but the voices of the soldiers who lived there long ago. And as you go by, you might still hear the ghostly steps of a horse running by. Everybody?
The day involved school choir, local musicians, a storyteller. We also had various art displays on. Only a tiny amount is actually shown in the film because we wanted to keep the film really short. We tried to make history relevant as well, so the school choir here are singing songs, some post First World War, some contemporary to the period, mixed together to actually very subtly give us a chance to question what heritage means to us, what community means to us, and what the First World War has done in terms of affecting the way that we view the world and the way the world is for us now. These are the same children at Uplands Primary, and the Heritage Project is Living Heritage. We're planting heritage variety fruit trees as part of an orchard in the school, so now the school has a resource which you can use not only for feeding themselves but also learning throughout the year, because this will be part of a garden that they're going to develop now. The children digging the hole, planting the tree is important because it gives them a real connection to the whole process of where their food comes from. It's one thing being told it, it's another thing doing, and the whole of this project has always been about doing. We tied community around nature because it's something that we immediately all have in common, that we all need to eat, we all need to breathe, we all need to be in a healthy environment. But we came together and a day came out of that, and that for me is what's really interesting about creating an art project rather than just a heritage project or a project about planting trees on Thimblemill Brook, the only strip of land that's left from 100 years ago. It was right on the interface between the farmland and quite heavy industry, and even Thimble Mill used to be a little factory. Now what we've got left is this thin strip of land which is essentially the banks of the brook that's been culverted, but it's a little wild space. And it's a little magical space as well, that people can actually stay in contact with nature. We worked with Food Forest Brum and also the Urban Orchard Project to decide on the kind of varieties of fruit trees and nut trees that we were going to plant along Thimble Mill Brook.